Well, I was finally blessed by... Good morning. Day 166 on Holly's Appalachian Trail Adventure. I am getting ready to leave the Spring Creek Inn or pub, tavern. There's a couple different names I've seen listed. It looks like I have to delete some videos too because it looks like I don't have much space left on my phone, so I'll get to that. I am heading out of Hot Springs today, and I am going to be heading south. I'm a little bit uncertain as to my resupply for the next couple legs of my journey, but I have some options, so I'll bring you along when I figure out what those are. I have made my first initial climb out of Hot Springs, and these colors are really pretty, and I just wanted to show them to you. My first climb is done, and I am actually kind of on a ridge line for several miles. I've got about 1.5 miles to the very first shelter, which was not too far out of town. I will possibly stop there and just have a little drink and maybe a snack. And then I will continue down trail. I am completely up in the air as usual as to my plan for the day. My first shelter minimally that I wanted to get to was at about 13 miles. And the second one was 18. I'll just have to see where I'm at physically. It's going to be a lot of uphill today. So we'll see how I'm doing. If I get to the first shelter, well, the first goal shelter, and it's super early, I will probably continue on to the second one, or the following one. But again, we'll just play it by ear, be spontaneous, and see what the day brings. I am going to be in touch with Pacer today, and she is probably not going to be hiking in the Smokies with me, which I'm sad about. However, we still might meet up, so we'll kind of decide that today. She may do Charlie's Bunyan with me. She may just be a trail angel for me and help me get some resupply, so I don't have to carry my Smokies food for 6 days or 5.5 days, whatever I was planning. We'll see what happens. It is a windy one this morning. And when you're up in the wind, it's chilly. I think I need to get my buff out and put it over my ears, because this isn't keeping out the wind and my ear is starting to ache a little bit, so we don't want that. Lots of uphill this morning. I don't know if it's all the food I ate in town, or if it's the 2.5 cups of coffee plus the Dr. Pepper I had this morning. My nutrition is terrible on trail. But regardless, I'm finding the uphills easier than normal, so let's hope that continues. I forwent stopping at the Deer Park shelter. That was the very first one out of Hot Springs, less than 5 miles in. So my next shelter where I could spend the night would be 11.2 from here. So we'll see what time it is when I get there. Coming up over a little rise here. I know it's not the best viewpoint, but Right up here is Bluff Mount, I believe is Bluff Mountain, and I think that's what we're going to be climbing this afternoon. Looks pretty imposing from here. Right now I'm kind of in a blocked space where I'm not getting a bunch of wind, which is really nice. It's comfortable walking today, or down in here at least. Once you get up in the wind, it's not as comfortable. Got a little rhododendron tunnel here. And then once I start climbing, I'll have several miles of climb to get to the top of Bluff Mountain. And then the shelter's just the initial shelter is just, beyond that.
Fresh ground? Fresh ground? Yeah. Anything? Nothing? Nothing? We're not hard.
Well, I was finally blessed by fresh grounds. I just ran into the Leapfrog Cafe and he fed me so much food. I had an amazing mixed rice veggie dish with cheese and salmon. He made 2 hamburgers for me to pack out and eat later. And it was just sweet chatting with a fellow Christian who has such an amazing witness to people, a love for people, and I just thank you, Fresh Ground. It was great to meet you, and I'm honored to have been fed by your wonderful hand. And thank you, and I wish all God's blessings upon you and your ministry. Take care. Part of the reason that Fresh Grounds was out here today and that I got to catch him is because his sisters are out here hiking and he's never fed his older sister on trail. And so he wants to surprise her, which I think is incredibly awesome. So my goal, and it's a secret, he wants to surprise her. So my goal is to intercept them on the way and just ask if they would like to give a random hiker interview. And I hope to catch her on film too, so we'll see. Hey there everybody, I am going to be interviewing hikers today. My goal is to get 5 different hikers today, and right now I'm going to knock 2 of those out with they's gals here. They're going to introduce themselves.
I'm Dandy. I'm Pace Car.
And what are you out here for?
We are just out here section hiking. We're from Florida. We come up a couple times a year and pick up where we left off. This time we started at Davenport Gap, and we're planning to do about 100 miles.
Woohoo!
Yeah, woo!
Well, congrats, and I wish you safety and the best.
You as well.
So much. Thank you. That may or may not have been them. We didn't throw around names. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll ever find out. But that seems like the most likely chances. 2 women hiking together. Right after I saw him, I'm pretty sure that's them. Pretty cool. But I do think I hear more voices coming down the trail too. So I will see what happens. I'm kind of close to it, but here's a little cave. And that's way above my head, like 12 feet, 15 feet. I just recently passed a rescue team who was bringing a woman down off of Bluff Mountain. She had injured her knee hiking. I think she was section hiking with her son and husband. And they were bringing her down on like a stretcher that was wheeled. They had one wheel, maybe dual wheels right in the center. But they were wheeling her down the path, and just told her I was praying for her, so I do hope that she recovers quickly from whatever the injury was and gets back out hiking soon. All right, everybody, I've met 2 more female hikers. Today is the day for women hikers, which I love. So I'm going to let these 2 gals introduce themselves.
I'm Shelby. I'm from Sarasota, Florida, and I am going to be doing the AT in segments all the way.
Woohoo!
So I hiked through Georgia into North Carolina, and now I'm just doing some other segments here and there. Really happy to hook up with Susan on this one.
So we're sisters. I'm
Yay.
from Virginia Beach, but we're fresh ground sisters.
Woohoo! These are the gals we were looking for.
We're headed to find them.
Yes, we can.
Uh-oh, don't tell them.
Don't tell them it's a secret.
It's a secret.
I'm not supposed to know.
It's a secret for her. It's a secret for him. So.
No, we got 2 secrets.
This is not good, ladies. Thank you for your
Thank you very
time.
much.
All right.
Have a good.
All right, Wildberry coming to you from the top of Bluff Mountain. I ran into a friend that I ate breakfast with yesterday morning, and I'm going to let him introduce himself. All right.
Hello everyone, my name is Bruce. I'm a lasher. I didn't know what that term was a week and a half ago. It was
Do you want to describe it?
long section hiker. So I came out 2.5 weeks ago on a Friday, and I started my hike at Fontana Dam, hiking south, and I hiked to Amicalola Falls. It's my second section hike. Last year I did the Smokies southbound. That took 8 days, and I took a 0 day at Newfound Gap. And so I got done with my hike. It was fantastic. The first couple days were kind of painful, but after that it started to even out. And my daughter got home from a class, a school-sponsored trip to Italy, and half the kids had COVID and half the kids had the flu. So I got a couple more days up here. Her fever broke, and they're cleaning up the house right now. So I'm heading home tomorrow, but I've had a blast. I woke up this morning and hiked through the darkness to get to Max Patch for sunrise, and that was really something I'm glad I didn't miss on this trip.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, and best wishes on the rest of your journey for safety, and have fun on your next section hike, because I know you're going to continue section hiking, correct?
That's the plan. I think
right.
people asked me if I was going to do the whole trail, and I was like, that's crazy. Maybe. I don't know. It'll take 20 years, but I think next spring I'm going to be back out here heading north from probably out of Hot Springs, is my guess.
Very cool. Well, congratulations and have fun.
Thank you.
Guys, this is what Fresh Ground sent me off with. 2 huge hamburgers and a package of bacon. So this will be my lunch and afternoon snack, maybe dinner. But that is one man who loves doing what he does, and he's fulfilling his mission. You can tell that because of the joy he has feeding hikers. That's what his mission in life is at this point. So again, thank you, Fresh Ground, and it was a pleasure meeting you today. I met your sisters. I did not spill the beans. That was their doing. Excuse me. And just again, thank you. Another shelter that's right on trail. I'm gonna stop and eat a late lunch here. I'm glad I don't need to stay here and seek shelter, because it's a little sketchy. But I believe that's the direction we'll head. Looks like Privy's over there. Water, I don't know, I can't see. All right. We were just at Walnut Mountain Shelter, so I'm assuming this might be Walnut Mountain that we're at. It's very overgrown with weeds, this whole top here, but it's sunny, so I like that. And then I see a mountain there, which don't know if we'll be climbing it. Probably will. Now, brothers, I want to remind you of the gospel I preached to you, which you received and on which you have taken your stand. By this gospel you were saved, if you hold firmly to the word I preached to you. Otherwise, you have believed in vain. For what I have received, I passed on to you as of first importance, that Christ died for our sins according to the Scriptures, that he was buried, that he was raised on the 3rd day according to the Scriptures, and that he appeared to Peter and then to the 12. After that, he appeared to more than 500 of the brothers at the same time, most of whom were still living, though some have fallen asleep. Then he appeared to James, then to all the apostles, and last of all he appeared to me also, as to one abnormally born. 1 Corinthians 15, 1-8. I've made it to Lemon Gap and Roaring Fork Shelter, that top one, 3.5, that's my goal for the evening. Max Patch, we will see in the morning, 5.4 miles. So this is the gap, that's all it is. A little parking spot, and that's it. I have arrived at the Roaring Fork Shelter. Bear cables are right here in front of the shelter. I have yet to look for a flat camping spot. That shows a tenting spot there, but it's definitely not flat. Maybe there's one here. The end of day 166. It was an 18.1 mile day, and I am at the Roaring Fork Shelter as I showed you earlier. I am just trying to figure out how I'm getting through the Smokies, if I'm gonna get a ride into Gatlinburg for a resupply. I'm just not sure what I'm gonna do. All the comments about Standing Bear Farms resupply are terrible, so I think I might just push on to Newfound Gap and get a ride into town from there, hopefully there and back in one day, and we shall see. I'll let you know when I find out. That's how I roll. Play it by ear. I don't have anything else for today. I am chilly, so I am going to get under my quilt and get warmed up. Thanks for following along. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow.